Hello, teacher. Good afternoon. Before to starting, I want to offering an apology because I can't send my video the last night because in my community there are in lag since the afternoon of yesterday and until today. And yes, for this reason. Okay, well, I'm going to start my presentation that is about murderers of Leon Trotsky. Okay, I'm going to start. Who was Leon Trotsky? Leon Trotsky was one of the most important leaders of the Communist Party. He led the Russian Revolution together with Lenin and Stalin against the Tsar's regime. He was born on October 28th in 1876. Yes. And what did he do, Leon Trotsky? Leon Trotsky helped build a communist regime in Russia. Um, uh, well, he helped to build a communist regime in Russia. He complements Marx's story with his story of his permanent revolution that well, a system that can remove in the world. Uh, Auto revolution change around the world and they all they all have the opportunity of um, change the system of all the countries. Okay. Uh, Always he always wrote for Iskra magazine that starting for Lenin, funded for Lenin, sorry. Well, it's all for this part. Exile. He exiled. He's in three countries, but I'm going to start with the reason, with the principal reason that he and his family uh, were exiled. Lev Davidovich and his family were expelled by Stalin from the Soviet Union in 1927. Um, Lenin uh, uh, don't want a Trotsky because Trotsky was the intellectual leader, and he only was the face of the Communist Party. Lenin didn't important in this aspect. Um, well, after Leon Trotsky and his family lived in three different countries. The first country it was Turkey. After Switzerland, after France, and finally Mexico. Um, in this part, there are two photos of her house, of his house. Sorry, I don't remember some words. Um, uh, his house of Turkey and his house of Mexico. Yes. Okay. His life in Mexico. Uh, what did Leon Trotsky in Mexico City? Well, uh, before that, other thing, Leon Trotsky don't came at Mexico City. He he came to Mexico in the port of Tampico in Tamaulipas, and he arrived here on January 9, 1937. Frida Kahlo received them in the port of Tampico, and they lived in Coyoacan with Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera in the Blue House. Um, his house is in a little colony in Mexico City. Yes, I think that many people don't know that is that Leon Trotsky and Frida Kahlo have a relationship between he and she, and yes, nobody knows about this relationship. And one day, Natalia Sedova, Natalia Sedova was the wife of Leon Trotsky. When she entered that Frida Kahlo and Leon Trotsky have had a relationship between she and her, she uh, she will she was very sad. Nonetheless, she forgives Leon Trotsky. And yes, uh, what is it the habits and hobbies for of Leon Trotsky? One of the hobbies of Leon Trotsky is that he always collected cacti from the forest of the desert of the Lion Desert, and outside of the city of the Mexico City, and carried for them in his garden. His garden is a place very extensive, and yes, he rarely wore short. Is an habitat I see very curious because uh, he he wasn't wore he wore a clothes that don't don't be or that don't was jacket and t-shirts and things that how 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 this type of clothes. Um, Other thing or other of his hobbies is that he enjoyed taking care of his rabbit farm. Yes, he loved all these things. And well, it's all for this part. And his family. Uh, who is his? Who are his family? His family is composed or is make up for his wife that she was Natalia Sedova, and and together they had three children, Seryosha and Sergei, their two sons and their daughter Sina, from whom they had a grandson named Sieva. Yes. Well, finally, how how did Leon Trotsky? Leon Trotsky was assigned on August 20, 1940, by Jacques Mornard. What uh, what is he? Uh, he is or he was a Spanish spy, and his real name was Ramon Mercader, a member of the Communist Party sent by Stalin to assassinate him. Yes, Ramon Mercader was an Spanish a Spanish spy. Sorry, he lives in Spain, in France, and in United States. Um, Before to be contracted for be a murder, he he was in Spain. He participated in Spanish Civil War. Yes, and well, uh, he he was very hate for Leon Trotsky because he don't he doesn't recognize Leon Trotsky how uh, a leader of the Communist Party. And yes, for this reason, he decided to assign it Leon Trotsky, or assign it Leon Trotsky. And for this situation, he he after time he be recognized for the Union Soviet with the, how do you say, for the hero star of the Soviet Union. Ramon Mercader for assigning Leon Trotsky spent 20 years in a prison in Lecumberri, in Mexico. And when he left, he traveled to Czechoslovakia. He lives in this place a lot of time. And well, he went to the URSS. Pues, well, it's all my presentation. I I'm very nervous because I know that don't say some words very well, but I try to I try to have my best my best intent of speak in English. Thank you, teacher. Goodbye.